We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. Our armaments will be superior to anything else you find on the battlefield. Truly? Let me see. Yes, that is indeed ironbark, and a substantial quantity of it as well. Well done. An agreement is an agreement, and I will craft something from this wood for you. What would you like? A bow? Or perhaps a breastplate? Manuvinin, I will craft it myself. Watch if you prefer. It will not take long. And I've reformed the wood to my will. A Dalish longbow for you. May it serve you well. We are working hard to make enough equipment. We are working hard to make enough equipment for all of... are working hard to make enough equipment for all of the hunters. An agreement is an agreement, and I will craft... I must admit I'm surprised to witness such generosity from an outsider. You have my thanks, and the thanks of my clan for this gift. I will not allow your generosity to go without at least some reward. Come, I shall make something of the wood you bring. I've reformed the wood to my will. It is but a small token of our gratitude, but take it with my blessing.
You have returned. Is there any chance you have news of Delilah? You have news? Have you found her? Are you certain? Dead? What happened to her? Was it as I thought? The Keeper told me the truth? Are you certain? So I was right. But what became of her? She told you that? Yes. That is what she would do. At least she is at peace. Here is the amulet, as I promised. Now I should go and make arrangements. I must mourn my wife as is proper. Dareth Shira, fare you well.
Greetings to you, friend. I understand I have you to thank for my rescue from the forest. I don't want your efforts to go unrewarded. Here is the gem I traded for when I was amongst the outsiders. I thought to make a necklace out of it for my bride, but I want you to have it. I know it is of worth. You wish me to keep it? Then you are truly generous. Thank you again. And now I am afraid I must rest. The Keeper says I am not yet fully recovered, after all. I wish you well, my friend.
Let us pray to the Creator. All-Father, may you forgive our part in this tragedy. Would our sons and daughters have died if not for our pride? Falandine, friend of the dead, may you guide our sons and daughters safely into the beyond. And most of all, he who hunts alone. the Dread Wolf. He will come for us in the end, but today he turned a blind eye, and for that we are thankful. For we are the Dalish, the keepers of the lost lore, the walkers of the lonely path, and never again shall we submit.
I understand we will be joining you in battle as soon as the hunters have recovered. I look forward to it.
What was that soup you made for supper last night?
Oh, that's a traditional Ferelden lamb and pea stew. Do you like it?
Oh, so it was lamb then. It had a certain texture I don't normally associate with lamb.
They didn't make lamb and pea stew for you in Lothering?
We ate simply there. Whole grains made into biscuits or bread, and vegetables from the garden, cooked lightly. No heavy stews.
Ah, so the last lamb you had was probably cooked Orlesian style. Food shouldn't be frilly and pretentious like that. Now, here in Ferelden, we do things right. We take our ingredients, throw them in the largest pot we can find, and cook them for as long as possible until everything is a uniform grey colour. As soon as it looks completely bland and unappetizing, that's when I know it's done.
You're having me on.
Ha! You need to eat in more Ferelden inns.
You called. I am hardly surprised. To put it lightly, no one has a place here. Your farmers wish to... Very well. As you wish.
Just leave me alone, Warden. Seriously. I don't know. I guess we're pretty good friends now, right? I just keep thinking about all that slag with Branka. How I've turned out. I always said I was this way because she left, but I think maybe she left because of how I am. I've tried 27 new kinds of ale and learned I'm just the right height to give a human girl a good time. That doesn't make me a good man. Enough wallowing in my own filth. Did you want to talk about something? What about? I do. A bit. A little bit. The only way I'd go back is if they all lined up to kiss my ass and didn't care if they lost their caste for doing it. Actually, that might be nice. But I can't go back now. I'd rather die than be casteless in Orzammar. I guess I'd rather be a useless lump of a dwarf out here than a useless lump of a dwarf back there. Nice of you, Warden, but I know what side of the house the Lou is on. Hey, let's go find something to kill, huh? All this talk makes my hands twitchy. There you are. I was thinking, we've been through a lot together now. We're like old war buddies. So I figured why not invite you to share a drink, huh? A drink from my own stash, my family's recipe, and dedicated to my comrades in arms. Yes! The Warden steps up! How do you feel? That's the spirit! I just wanted to tell you, After all we've been through, you're like family to me. Closest thing I've had in years. Oh, Warden, I do believe I'm getting all misty-eyed. But that could be because those beans are getting chatty, if you know what I mean. So, do you want to talk about something? What about? All right.
What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of...
What say you? By all means. I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. How should I know? My mother was a whore, as you'll recall. None of the other elven boys in the whorehouse knew their fathers. I was not so unusual. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. That's very kind of you to say, but it is not necessary. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all. My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again. I don't feel anything about them. Oh, we heard about them in the city, even deep in Antiva. I even had the notion once to run off and join them. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on. What say you? By all means. What say you? Oh, this should be good.
Something on your mind? Of course. Such as they are. Something on your mind?
I was just thinking about what happened to the elves, and I'm reminded of a song sung to me many years ago. It was when my mother died, and this wise elven woman comforted me and told me that we shouldn't fear death or hate it. Death is just another beginning. One day, we must all shed our earthly bodies to allow our spirits to fly free. It's a beautiful sentiment, I think. One that brings peace and hope to the grieving. Did you remember our discussion? I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I've found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves. I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you. You've seen and touched Andraste's ashes. They are the holiest thing on this earth, the remains of the Maker's chosen. I know, it seems almost irreverent to use her as a curative, and it is also a tiny bit morbid. I do not know if I am worthy to look upon her. Yes, of course, but it still is something to be in awe of. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you? Of course. Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no? Yes, that is what I'm saying. I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past. Yes, once, a long time ago, she was a worldly woman and there was so much she knew and was willing to share with me. I would have done anything for her once. She used to be different. Happier, I think. She loved music and had a weakness for sugary cakes. Maybe she was always lying about who she was. Or maybe she changed over the years. That's what they say, and the rest of us just have to move on. So far, things are not so bad. Look, now I have new friends, new loves. In spite of it all, life is good. I enjoy the nights at camp. The night always seems more peaceful to me, safer. I feel the night grants us a reprieve from the troubles of the day. Silly, isn't it? The Darkspawn never sleep, and they lurk in the shadows. I enjoy those nights when we stand guard together, talking to pass the time in those small hours. Well, I talk and you listen mostly. Sometimes I succumb and fall asleep and wake to find you still watchful. And I know you're watching out for me. What I'm trying to say is that I trust you. I'm comfortable around you. I know you'll be there when I need you. You are our leader and my friend, and sometimes I think that maybe we could be more than that. Maker, look at me stumbling over my words like an ill-educated peasant girl. Some bard I am. I guess I'll just go then. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you? Of course. I have not given this a lot of thought. What will I do? We've traveled far and wide. Does it need to end? There's so much out there. Adventures to be had and stories to be told. I want to be part of it all. I might need some company. And you're not too irritating. You're welcome to come along if you like. It is settled then. You and I wandering the world, seeking our fortunes. I can't wait. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you? Of course. Don't apologize. It is something you felt you needed to do. I cannot question that. And life goes on, yes? I will be all right. Come, let's move on. I know that look. You have something on your mind, don't you? Of course. There are many rumors about spies, or legion or otherwise. What are you referring to exactly? I admit I have done many despicable things in my lifetime. I do what I have to do. So do you. So does everybody. Sometimes we must do terrible things to get what we want. If it is any consolation, I always try to use non-violent means to achieve my ends. Some bards rely on torture to get what they want. It works effectively, as many will bend under the threat of bodily harm. But there are better ways, more subtle and kind. You will be surprised how easily a person will open up to you, even if all you offer is a listening ear. People respond eagerly to others who they believe understand them. They seek approval, friendship, sometimes love. This can be exploited. It is a game, one that can be won with little bloodshed if one plays well. And crude. Why not make someone want to do what you suggest, instead of forcing them to do it? Everyone can be seduced by the right woman. The trick is predicting who she is and becoming her. Master the game, and no one can resist you. If I might be so bold, yes, I was quite good at it. Sometimes, all I had to do was toss a glance and a smile. Men read promises into such things and will go to great lengths to see that promise fulfilled. I could... what? Oh, aren't you funny? I see your point. We will slay this darkspawn using conventional means, pointy sticks and all that. But come, it is getting late and there is much to be done.
I didn't even know we were in a relationship, so that was kind of random for me. But I guess that makes sense how the characters that give them gifts and stuff.
I know that look. You have something on your mind. Of course. Of course I do. I love stories.
Right here, old pal. Well, what do you think? I mean, she was my wife. I spent 2 years trying to save her while she was off boffing that tramp and feeding my cousins to the Darkspawn. And now she's dead, and there's no way to ever make things better. You did what you thought was right, Warden. I just wish there was another way it has ended. You want to get moving now? My throat's sore from all this relating. You there. I've been watching you. Where can I get some sauce for that rump roast? That's right. You've wiped your foot on the Ogren doormat of love. Go and make yourself ready, woman. I'll be right there to see to it.
It speaks. It doesn't have better things to do. It speaks. Its journeys are fascinating. I had thought its chances slim, but perhaps I'm even wrong on that point. Does it wish me to leave? I can, though I see no reason to go. Refreshing. Normally such words would be accompanied by the wave of a control rod. I shall remain as it asks. Perhaps we should continue. Its chances of success are small enough without further dawdling.
So... We're in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. Perhaps? Shall I consult my capricious nature and divine an answer for you? Come now, you'll make Alistair blush.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
Do you think the tower is ever going to get back to what it was, Wynne?
I don't know. A great number of people died. It will be difficult to imagine rebuilding, with that cloud hanging over everything for many years to come.
Do you think you'll be there? To help rebuild, I mean, once this is all over with.
I cannot say. Even if I survive this blight, I am a very old woman, Alistair.
Why? Because of some grey hair? You are a formidable woman, Wynne. You could see that it happens.
I think you overestimate the number of years I have left. But perhaps you are right. Or perhaps the memories of what happened there will be too strong for me to face.
I have a hard time believing that.
Well, it's good to have someone that believes in me so. Now, if I could only feel the same way myself, that would be something.
Come to check on my Hala and I again, have you? I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? I am glad you attempted it regardless. Come to check on my Hala and I again, have you? I don't know. Do you have any skills? I am glad you attempted it. I did not realize another Hala was injured. Come to check on my Hala and I again, have you? I don't know. I did not realize another... Come to check on my Hala and I... My name is Alora. I am the master herder in charge of caring for the Hala. Of course. Come to check on my Hala and I don't know. Yes, that's it. She's calming down. That's it, love. Be calm. Tell me what troubles you. Ah, I see. It is her life mate who is sick, not her. He was bitten on the leg during the attack, and she fears greatly for him. I did not realize another Hala was injured. This will allow me to prevent the sickness from spreading to the entire herd. Masiranus, thank you. You have done my clan a great boon this day. I will always be grateful for your help.
Hmm?
Yes. Hello. Immediately.
Hmm?
Yes, it is good to have my sword at my side again. I call her Asala, the soul, my soul. She is forged from rare blue steel and has served me faithfully for many years. Yes, you understand what it is like to have a weapon that is part of you. Few others do.
You witnessed the rarest of things, Warden. The Dalish stand ready to defend Ferelden. We have assembled on a short schedule. Certain factors of equipment could be better. Crafting components would serve best. Basic ones like elf root and deep mushroom. At your word, Warden. I would not insult them by asking. Word was given, and that is all that needs be said.